Well, it's been a few weeks, but it's time to go racing once again in the FIA Formula 3 Championship. Welcome everyone to the double header to kick off the second half of the season with the Redbull Ring, and time for the drivers to get 45 minutes of practice before we will go qualifying to set the grids. Tricks. Now, when you put wins, pole positions and fastest laps together, that's what gives him that 26-point advantage over Nicolas Solov. And I guess we can call it somewhat of a home race bid for Tim Tramnitz as well, who finds himself third in the championship. Not the best of rounds for him last time out. He had that collision coming through turn 2 at Barcelona. Taking that opportunity is GB3 driver Nikita Johnson. What an opportunity for him.
Great opportunity for Nikita Johnson. Driver I've watched a fair amount over the last couple of years. Competes in the GB3 Championship in the UK and across Europe as well. He'll be racing next weekend in Hungary, I believe, as well. But he's a very successful driver from America. He's originally from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Does, and congratulations, we must say, to Mary Boyer, now part of the newly formed Aston Martin Aramco Driver Academy. Mary Boyer, who has been successful racing in Formula 3.
This lap, so we'll keep an eye on, see how he gets on around what is one of the first flying laps this weekend. Unsurprisingly, purple in Sector 1.
Yeah, we did see Roman Belinsky, by the way, just to quickly pick up on him. He's going to serve a 5-place grid drop this weekend in the first race. That's for the contact he had with Jose Garcia. It's a miserable weekend for him.
Noah Stromstead, and then the final corner. The last sector, not really any overtaking opportunities, but it doesn't really matter because you've got one up and towards turn 1, which we're going towards now. A come in and then fall away. Yeah.
Now let's watch uphill.
Sliding his way through the apex of turn 1 there. You can see that the lack of grip that he had compared to what he expected. So right to the edge of track. That is as far as you can go. Pretty much perfectly judged on our first flying lap at the end of this session. So Stromstead, fastest for now. The only other drivers that were on circuit at that point was Johnson, who was doing laps. I think, rightly so, Chris, you were saying he's probably just trying to get a feel for the car and as many laps as he can do.
They came into Imola with a very positive attitude, Piers, saying their season starts now, but it just hasn't got started for them at all. They could just really do, going into the second half of the season, with a good result here, with a podium, with a win, to just give a boost of confidence to the team.
Last year, new car for this year. For some reason, Prema just haven't been able to get the most out of it yet, which is very unusual. That's Brando Badoer, who's in the pits already, red flag already out. He is beached, and that'll be the end of his practice session. To the car by the looks of it. We'll have I think it's only a partial replay. Yeah, it's just the second half of it. And he, I think, just lost it on the exit of turn 3. The driver's pushing the limits already at this early stage of the weekend.
And that is just a sign of Badoer of just the confidence he seems to have lost in the car. A driver who finished on the podium here last year.
A representative. I mean, our pole time last year, if I remember rightly, I think it was about 120 off the top of my head, something like that. Yeah, 120.2.
120.2, and we got a 123.
Yeah, I think we're going to be somewhere around the 22s based on the track conditions this weekend. Maybe.
Love the Formula 3 race. We see them pack the grandstands for this. Oh dear. Now, Noel Leon. Oh dear. Well, let's see what's happening here. The Prema Racing car seems to be having overheating problems, and the Prema Racing team quickly getting to work to try and extinguish that car.
And then Badoer goes off, and now Noel Leon has got a small fire at in the engine bay. The form they had here last year.
Yeah, well, here it comes to field now. Ugo Chukwu is on his way, as you mentioned. But that's just a real shame. Badoer off Noel Leon's car. Overheating problems.
Is getting them into a working window before going. Worth noting, I had a look at the race director's instructions ahead of this weekend. Is that another car stopping?
Well, yes, that is. Now, is that one of the Campos cars that has come to us? Stop. No, it's Gerard G. It's the
Gerard G is out. Somehow managed to. Oh, he's left it in gear. Good man.
He's left it in gear.
Good man.
Well, there we go.
Here we go. Let's have a look at what happened. I mean, we were actually watching this when it happened. He just pulled off the circuit. So either a warning on the dashboard, or I say the dashboard, there's no dashboard in these, warning on the steering wheel, or the car just cut out.
Much more of Noel Leon in this session, sadly.
Yeah, you can see the damage there from the small fire. That's one of the either a water pipe or some sort of cooling pipe that's been effectively melted.
Yeah, it's what damage has incurred, isn't it? And yeah, no surprise, red flag, because it's there. And Noel Leon's now been told to jump out the car.
The racing career as a driver can be quite a lonely endeavour. It's you versus the world, but when you've got some drivers in your academy and you can work with them and train together, it can actually make things more enjoyable. And often I've found, and a lot of other people have found, when you're racing, that the more you're enjoying things, the better you perform.
And just nailing that qualifying so far, isn't he? 4 out of 5 3-feature race wins in 5. But half the season to go is a long time. This is going to...
We head on board with Solov once again. We're heading in towards sector number 2 now, up towards turn number 5. This is a blind entry, slightly off camber, long apex left-hander. We try and get towards the apex. Doesn't matter if you don't quite reach it, as long as you keep the minimum speed high. The track limits have been revised there between 6 and 7. On the way, on the exit turn 8, watch out for the gravel. It comes up quickly as we towards 10. Drops away at the apex. Watch out for track limits at the exit. And hustling the car hard is the Campos driver, Nicolas Solov. Goes fastest by a second at this stage, but I don't imagine he's going to be a second clear of the rest of the field, as we're going to see lots more fast times. There's a big slide through turn 1. Good lap there, and we see the 28 off the road. That is Brad Benavides, and that looks like on the exit of turn 4, yes.
Well, that's that, I think, for this session.
On the same lap that he then went off. Yeah. So he was clearly really pushing the brakes on entry. Completely beached there, deep gravel trap on the exit turn 4. A lot of pressure on the drivers. They'll be doing a lot of research. Well, have done a lot of research ahead of the weekend, but they're going into it effectively almost blind.
Yeah. So we're not going to get everyone across the line. The checkered flag is going to fly. Okay, here we go. Ready for the rush out. There we go. That is synchronization of an F3 pit lane coming out the field.
And you know, that's actually really good job by both the marshals and the race direction team, because it's given the drivers a chance. They won't really get a full flying lap here. They'll get a chance to have a feel how the car is, but they won't get to set a representative lap time. But to give all of the drivers an opportunity, at least a practice start, can have an opportunity to get away from the line well, because it is a skill in itself. And don't forget, a lot of these drivers, they don't, haven't even got a racing or driving license on the road, so may not even be doing pull-aways with clutches in a road car.
Some drivers are going for this, though, for one more flying lap.
Qualifying this season, Kamara down towards turn number 4, hooking the apex curve beautifully there, running out wide. The Trident car this year has always looked well balanced, and it does so again in this session. Purple in sector 1, we come up towards the end of sector 2 through turn 6, again beautifully balanced through the apex, decisively to full power, using all the road, only 100th away from the best lap of Solov so far, and towards turn number 9, the Jochen Rindt curve. It's a very fast apex here, blind on the entry, you have to commit to the speed in the middle. I think it left a little bit on the table through there. The car looked like it was too well behaved for my liking, and then exit of turn 10 was pretty sweet as well. Stromstead goes third fastest, Kamara second, so that lap from Solov a few laps ago was clearly a good run.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Harrison Tip Motorsport YouTube channel. In today's video we just saw the F3 practice highlights where we had quite a few incidents. So first we have, I think it was Brandon Badua going into the gravel on the on one of the final corners, which meant a red flag came out. Then we had Noel Leon going back into the grid, maybe getting the temps a bit too high in his engine and having a fire, so that kind of exacerbated that red flag. And we had Dradzi losing power in going up to turn 3, so another red flag. And then lastly we had Brad Benavides going off into the gravel again, causing the last red flag before we had 2 minutes running at the end, where we had all the drivers set their kind of representative lap times. I know it's probably not the session that people probably wanted to have. Not much preparation for those rookies coming into the sport, like Kamara, like Sharp. These guys who come from other series, have raced at Austria before. They're going to struggle, maybe in qualifying, to where they usually finish. We saw Solov, the home race for him, I guess, with Red Bull affiliation and German speaking in Austria, same as in Hungary. Very strong. He showed he had a good lap time throughout the mid range of the session, and also solidified that a second and a half faster than Kamara in that last 2 minute stint there. I think it's going to be an interesting one. It's setting us up for qualifying to be very interesting. It's going to be a mixed up grid, hopefully. So stick around for my channel if you want to see those highlights. They'll be coming in a couple hours. So if you're seeing this and it's been a couple hours, find it to go give it a watch. If you are watching it straight away, this video, wait a couple hours, maybe subscribe to those notifications on so that when those highlights come out for qualifying, you're the first one to see them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I've been a bit amiss over the last month or so, but I have some good video ideas coming. I'm packing up my house, I'm moving, so that's the boxes, and that's why I haven't been producing many videos. But we have teammate comparison video coming up, F3 predictions for 2026. So if you want to see those videos, subscribe, and let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the race, get pole and qualifying. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, peace.